Today has been day 43. I think day 43, yeah. Day 43 of my deuterium depleted water experiment. I will be having a test, hopefully soon, when I can afford it. So that'll be a good thing, being able to afford having one of these tests, because testing is always quite expensive. But yeah, continuing to have the water, it's kind of difficult in a way because you always have to make sure you have enough water when you go out, and I just measure it out in glass bottles and take it with me. An interesting thing that I've noticed is, as I mentioned, I seem to wake up with lots of energy, and then I do exercise, which, because I've got reflex epilepsy, just normally I wouldn't be able to do that, but my seizure threshold seems to be quite high at that time in the morning, and I have lots of energy. But yesterday I didn't really have that much energy. I did in the morning, but then I had a huge dip because my sleep wasn't that good before, because I've been doing all this lab work. I've been doing a lot of lab work recently, and it's long hours, and it's interesting just that I do generally have more energy and I'm able to tolerate more, but my brain is still damaged. So I still have a limit, but my limit to what I can tolerate has increased, which is good. It's interesting and it's good. And yesterday it was strange because I had lots of energy waking up, and then I had that huge dip, and then I just persevered in the day, and then in the evening I actually was kind of restless, and it was very difficult to sleep. And for a few years now I've been having frankincense. This is the one I have. It's from doTERRA, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's the one that you are able to ingest. It's the only brand that I know of that you're able to have orally and ingest, even though it says on it somewhere that you shouldn't. I know that you can, because I've been told otherwise by people who know. And I know that it's a pure formulation, so I know that it's okay to ingest. And I've been doing it for a few years now. And yesterday, when I was feeling restless before bed, I was restless but tired. So I had my frankincense, as I would normally do. I kind of had a little bit of a break from it since doing this water experiment. But yesterday I had it because I just thought I'd feel good. Normally I just give it since I've been on this break, I've just been sniffing it now and then. But before that, I was having it under the tongue, so a few drops under the tongue, and then it just seemed to go straight to my head, which is where I wanted it to, and made me just feel quite calm and just just good. My brain can or my thoughts in my mind can kind of run away with me at times, because I overthink sometimes, and I have lots of voices in my head when I need to slow down and concentrate or go to sleep and just relax and get ready for bed. And whenever I've taken the frankincense in that fashion, it seems to just calm my brain down, and I know it has potent anti-inflammatory effects, and it's very good for neuroinflammation. So yeah, yesterday I overdosed on it. Well, not overdosed, but I had a lot more than I normally do. A lot more than I was expecting to. Just I had a few more drops than normal, quite a few, and it kind of knocked me out. It's like a sedative, but I feel like I really benefited from that. I felt like I had a really good sleep, so I'm going to try and do it again, just to have about the same dose that I had yesterday before bed. And I might have it as part of my sleep routine if I just continuously feel better doing it. So I'm going to try it again, having the frankincense under the tongue. Because it's before bed now, I'm going to do it now, and it's just a few drops. And it tastes kind of resiny, so it's not really nice at all. You get a really strong taste. But it's kind of quick acting, so you feel it. I never like it, but after a while it feels okay, and it gets a kind of a strong taste as well, but not a completely unpleasant taste, and you kind of get used to it. It's just that first hit that makes you feel kind of strange. Well, not strange, but it's kind of, as I said, it's kind of a resiny taste. I was for a while trying CBD oil, cannabidiol, but I didn't notice any benefits for me personally. I was having that just to help my sleep. I find that the frankincense for me is more useful. I feel better taking that rather than the cannabidiol. I also have cannabis oil, so that has some THC. But I still haven't tried that because I'm exploring it more before I try that. But I do feel like I don't really need to at the moment. And if I'm having benefits from the doTERRA frankincense, which I've had for a few years now, and I feel like I benefit from that, then I don't feel like I need to try anything else. And this is good for neuroinflammation, and it's good and it's a pure oil. I know where it's come from, and I know its quality. I know it works, helps my sleep, calms me down. All good things. Has anti-cancer benefits. And I think that I don't know if I'm completely wrong about this, but I think that frankincense actually has some cannabinoids in it, just naturally. There are certain plants that are not cannabis plants that have cannabinoids in them. Like echinacea is one, I think. I think dark chocolate even has it. Like 100% cacao has a certain cannabinoid. I can't remember which one it is. It's not my area. I'm not an expert in cannabinoids, but they are very interesting, and I know they have different effects. And I know there is an entourage effect as well, so having the actual plant itself is probably best, the cannabis plants. I know you can grow them to have different ratios of different strains, but I think I'll stick with this for the time being. And I will experiment moving forward with other stuff. But I'm always very cautious about where some things come from, and I have to really know the source and really trust it. But I might even have some more of this before bed, just to make sure I have a good sleep. More isn't always best. Therapeutic dose is debatable, how much is best to have, but I think it's kind of individual as well. So I just play around with it. The good thing about sublingual administration, meaning just having it under the tongue, is that you have blood vessels there, lots of blood vessels there that allow you to absorb it very quickly. So it gets to your central nervous system very quickly, and it helps me a lot, because when I get tired, I can actually feel it on that side of my head where the tumour was, and where I just have brain damage now. And I have an MRI scan coming up, but I feel really, really confident about it. It's the most confident I've ever felt about one. And I also feel really good. I think that's partly the water and the diet. I've cleaned it up a lot. It's been really good the past 43 days. And being able to exercise every day, that's pretty good. Being out in nature a lot. That experiment where I was sleeping on the floor did a lot of good for me, even though it sounded crazy. And just having a sense of purpose as well. I'm doing work that I'm encouraged by, even though it's really hard, and I'm actually failing a lot. Failing in a good way, because I've never done this kind of work before, and with any kind of scientific experimentation, you have to prepare for failure and learn to fail a lot and have no ego, because failure is part of learning. And I'm failing a lot, but it's good because I'm having lots of experience, and with more experience I will fail less as I learn more. You kind of feel like an idiot sometimes, but then you understand that that's just normal and you're not an idiot. And I'm preparing for a big project at the moment. I'm doing mini projects, but I'm preparing for a big project, which is good. I'm looking forward to that. And that's another lab-based project that I start very soon, in a few weeks. And in preparation for that, I'm doing the lab work that I'm doing now. So that gives me good experience, and we're using a number of machines and protocols that I haven't used before on actual cancer cells, which is, it's not as good as real people, but it's still good. And yeah, I'm a bit dozy at the moment, which is also good. And this is calming me down. And I'll take more of it. I have an addictive personality, so if it makes me feel good, I want to take more. That's also why I'm wary of the cannabis oil, because I have that kind of personality that would take more and more and more if I noticed an effect. And if I was to get high off it, I have that kind of personality that would just want to take more and more and more. But I enjoy taking this, and like I said, it makes me feel good. And doTERRA is a really good brand. It's expensive, but it lasts a long time. And they gave me 2 of these with my last order. So it will last me a long time. The deuterium depleted water bottles, still have a lot of those too, but I do want to have another test very soon because my mum's doing the water as well, and she's done more days than me because she started after her just cancer results, saying it's terminal and all this, but she's doing really well. So we will see what her MRI is like because we have it now and I want to have a look at it and see how she's doing. But she's doing well in terms of her symptoms and everything. And she's doing the red light every morning and evening now, so twice a day. And using the Juve, the red light therapy device. So I feel like I've benefited from that as well. I notice that sometimes I get bags under my eyes when I've done too much, because I do push myself too hard sometimes. Last week I really did that, which is why I was tired yesterday. So I need to give myself a bit of a break, not do too much, take breaks. But I'm learning to do that, and I'm mindful of that. It's funny when people talk about mindfulness and meditation, because mindfulness and meditation for me is just taking myself out of situations and places that give me a lot of noise, like noise in my head, make me think too much, or there's too much going on. So I just take myself away from that, and it's a form of escapism. So meditation for me could be just going for a walk outside in nature. It's whatever you want it to be. Mindfulness and all that. You don't have to sit and just focus on breathing. And you can do that, but I like to do it just being observant of nature in just on my own and just reflecting. I think that's just the way it works best for me. If I just sit on my own and just focus on my breathing and do traditional kind of meditation, it actually it doesn't work for me. Sometimes it can make me feel worse, so I do much better with just being in nature and just going for a walk usually, or having a cold shower. Cold showers are so good for just my mental state, even though I hate them still. I still hate them, but I do them all the time. But I also do the opposite with the heat and red light. So it's good to have a balance, rather than just too much of one or too much of the other. Anyway, I've rambled on too much now. I'm going to get ready for bed and have some more of this magic potion. And I've got a busy day tomorrow. I'll try and film some of it actually, because it's interesting. And filming lab stuff is always it's something people don't often, patients don't often see too much of it because they're on the other side of the curtain, let's say, and they don't often get to see what happens on the other side. And I think that's really important. So yeah, I'll try and film some of that. I think that would be good for people to see. It's been good for me to see, just the whole experience of being a researcher as well as a patient and having that privilege of being in that situation. I'm really grateful for that. Sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm very new to it. Even though I've been studying it for a few years now, I'm still very new to it, and it takes a long time to properly be confident with all this. But I'm getting there, and I hope to provide you with updates on that in the future, as well as my deuterium results from all these days I've been on the water, just all my results from that. And hopefully it's in a good range, because they say that even within just 4 weeks you can significantly lower your body's deuterium levels. And I'm hoping to have a result like that. I'm sure it will be different to before. I'm doing so many better things. And I'll let you know how that goes. Hope you've had a good weekend, if you're watching this at the weekend. If you're not, hope you have a good day, whatever time it is, whatever place you are in. Anyway, good night, or good morning, or just goodbye, I suppose. Not goodbye, but see you soon.